Hello and welcome back to the Nas Metal Production Channel here at YouTube. Welcome to the second to last Metaltober episode, because the week after this, it will be ending. So with that, for this one, I think I hinted in the last one, for this, that I'll be doing, of course, or for focusing on the new wave of British heavy metal bands that I was getting to at the time, from definitely beginning with in 2008 with like Diamond Head and such. But within 2009, which of course most of this is focused on, I definitely started really getting more into the whole new wave of British heavy metal bands. So with that, besides Diamond Head, in 2008 I also got into this band. Of course, being Angel Witch, with their self-titled album here. Of course, at the time, I only had it downloaded, and at the time it was only just the 30th anniversary version of the album. Still, later on, of course, back, and it was like 2013 is when I ended up picking up the deluxe edition. That was released in 2010, actually. But I purchased it in 2013, but still, don't want to talk too much. This is just a classic album from, of course, Angel Witch. Like, nothing bad on here. Just a classic album. Then, of course, on that same year, which I also started checking out the band Sweet Savage, fan-made album. Anyways, probably it was, of course, due to Metallica, with their cover of Killing Time. And from then, I definitely was checking out Sweet Savage, and great stuff. Great band, of course, best known for having, or being the original band that Vivian Campbell was in before going on to Dio and Def Leppard. Anyways, still, classic stuff here. Great new wave of British heavy metal for sure. Of course, cannot forget about this band. That's, of course, Saxon. Of course, Wheels of Steel, and, of course, Strong Arm of the Law. Which, of course, I first heard about the Saxon name, which I stated when I reviewed Wheels of Steel as a part of my album of the week, really early this year. It was really early. Came out like in January. I talked about how I got this, what was it, like 100 best heavy metal bands or so on there. The magazine, of course, on the front of the cover, it had, I believe, like Corey Taylor from fucking Slipknot. Anyways, Saxon, their name was featured in there, and they always kind of stuck with me for then. But when finally checking them out, great band. Of course, becoming a real fan favorite of me, or at least a favorite, a real personal favorite. Another one, of course, being Savage. Of course, just after Sweet Savage, another band that Metallica had covered most of the song "Let It Loose." Classic album, killer stuff. Nothing bad to begin with. Just a fucking great album. And of course, I want to kind of bring this up. If anyone has a problem with my language, I didn't say that my channel was family friendly. Anyways, still, great album. Then, of course, another band from the new wave of British metal that I also was checking out at the time was, of course, Tokyo Blade. Finally, though, acquired a copy of this album recently. Just a great album. Nothing bad on here. Of course, I think pretty much next to Savage just has that same sort of attitude and fire. Of course, Disc 2, of course, has some other great tracks on this one, being, of course, the Madame Guillotine EP, Death on Main Street, and, of course, the whole Midnight Rendezvous EP. All great stuff. Classic artwork. Sunrise in Tokyo is a fucking killer riff. What a killer riff that is. Great metal track. But with that, besides Tokyo Blade, There's no other new wave British heavy metal band that was getting into more and more. There was no other band than this band here. That being, of course, Tank. Of course, Felt Hounds of Hades, Pal the Hunter. This Means War, and of course, Honor and Blood. But it was Honor and Blood that really kind of introduced me to the band, mostly with the song that alongside If Heaven is Hell by Tokyo Blade. Because again, at the time of YouTube, like I said in the last one, there was a lot of these compilation videos that had with titles like Best Heavy Metal Band or Best This and That, and one of the earliest ones I saw had featured Tank and Tokyo Blade. That's why I remember, and those two bands stuck to me quite a bit from there. But then, come to the last thing, I didn't really acquire this thing thanks to a vinyl transmission, but this definitely had some other bands I also was checking out at the time. Was this compilation here, but there was quite a bit of bands on here that I was checking out at the time, being Blitzkrieg, Jaguar, Witchfind, I think. Though Witchfind, I think, came way later, though. I think maybe Vardis might have been one. Gaskin could have been one. I can't remember. Some of them I really ended up checking out later. But Cloven Hoof, that was definitely another band I was definitely checking out at the time as well. Another one being Ties of Pantang, of course. Them. I think maybe Warfare might have been one. I can't completely remember, but they definitely were one. Samson, definitely was another one I was kind of checking out at the time as well. Same goes for Girls' School, which I knew about Girls' School for a long time, actually. Thanks to, of course, Metal Mania that was on, or was originally on, or the channel, now defunct, VH1 Classics. Still, definitely a pretty good comp here, though. But definitely some bands for references, to reference at least of what I was kind of listening to at the time as well. I forgot that I didn't know if I really should have put it within this stack or so, because I only checked out again 2 songs. But again, since I was only doing this for references, was Witchfinder General. Forgot to bring out my copy of Death Penalty. But still, that was definitely another band I was getting to at the time, and Raven, another one. So at that, this was definitely a pretty cool video to do. Definitely dive into, of course, everyone's favorite metal genre, basically. The new wave or British heavy metal. So with that, the next one is going to be a much more interesting, different one, but it'll be the last one, and definitely we'll just set up for why this channel is pretty much still stays up, and why I never leave. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. So until then, this is Heavy Thrasher Sam out. And I hope everyone and all of you are having a great October. So, take care everyone.